in remembrance of CJ. Drove the hearse Cadillac. A crowd of people gathered round, all dressed in black. And as they removed his body from the car, such pain she never knew has filled her heart. Why, oh why, I heard his mother cry. But oh Lord, it was the beginning of her and just a specific in a mother's love. You will find everything's alright. To a mother's love, you are bound. You can rest on sacred ground. You are free to dream because she sees what you can be. Did you know that mental health is a family affair? It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Wow. One child grows up to be somebody that just loves to learn, and another child grows up to be somebody you just love to burn. Mama loves the both of them. You see, it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood thicker than the mud. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Oh, a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. You can't leave because your heart is there. But you can't stay because you've been somewhere else. You can't cry because you look broke down. But you're crying anyway because you're all broke down. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, it's a family affair. Hey, hey. See that old man over there in his chair? This old man is living in the bottle. He done quit his 9 to 5. He drink full time, and now he's living in the bottle. Well, see that old man over there in his chair? This old man got a problem, and it's a bad one. Now he done pawned off everything, his old woman wedding ring for the bottle. Well, and don't you think it's a crime When time after time, people living in the bottle. These people living in the bottle, y'all. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be, so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Greetings and welcome to the Tiger's Den. This is the voice of Cheryl, and I am Toothless Tiger. And yet again, I am behind the avatar. Believe it or not, people around here get sick, head cold, cough a day or two, take their medication, and they bounce right back. Unfortunately for the king, that would be me. It takes a little longer. I pick up the cold and I may get sick for 3 months. They get 3 days. Be that as it may, I'm back. I was told by some, a few, that people really thought I was giving up on the Tiger's Den. Never, ever mistake anything that I say, my humanity, my humbleness, my sadness for the plight of our people as a sign of giving up on me. That doesn't happen. Now, I have a lot of brilliant ideas. Probably not going to carry through any of them, but I share them with others. I remember a line in one of Tupac's songs, and perhaps I may not get it right, but bear with me if you will. He said he may not be the one that's going to be the next president, but he hoped to say something to prick the mind of the one that will be the next president. Now, I'm sure I added something to that story. I'm almost sure I did. That's what I do. But I want to say greetings to everyone. Let me start with Madria. Maria, I love you, girl. All of your hard work. The Remixtress, good to see you. Crystal Williams. And Crystal, I want to do this. Trust me, Crystal, there is no pressure. You don't have to do anything, but just know that I appreciate you always being here. I can see you smiling, although I've never seen your face, but your presence is a smile to me. And I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. So just know that I understand now how people use these wrenches and how they reverence them and things of that nature. It's just a token from me to you. It means nothing else, nothing more, and nothing less. If you know how to drop links and want to, feel fine. If you don't, trust me, Maria's going to do it regardless to if she's awake or asleep. Maria's going to be dropping a link or two. And I always tell her she doesn't have to, but that's who she is. And she's going to make sure that we're advertised. So Alicia, right there, Nick and Nick. They're going to do that as long as they're here. You can do that if you choose to. But I just want you to know that you're truly a part of the family. I was over there too, Crystal, as I was preparing for my show, bumping my head to Iceberg. I can't cut a rug like I used to, boy, but I can rock and roll in a chair and bump my head, and you think I can get up and do something. But that looter was going off over there, and it was refreshing to hear some old school music. And trust me, Iceberg, if you're still here, your music fit right in that category. You're right up there with the best, in my opinion. So again, I want to greet everybody. So Alicia, Phyllis, Iceberg, I'm glad you guys are here. I guess a lot of people, I don't know what they read into my video, but I was really just talking about YouTube and how the climate is changing. And, you know, I spoke to this many a months ago. I actually kicked off what I call my YouTube career, June 26, 2021 is when I did my first YouTube video introducing myself. And I listened to several of my old videos, and, you know, my stance really has not changed. I've kind of changed a little bit in what we talk about for the sake of the new way that YouTube is going. And the question was more or less about how every video nowadays, well, you know, there was once a flag infest, but I think people kind of are coming to their senses and realizing that that's to no avail, because YouTube, they're demonetizing anybody they choose to, even some of the giants. And believe it or not, I am one of the smaller YouTubers in this sector. In a year, when I started being attacked by a villain, I had 1,370 subs. And in a whole year, I've only grown 60 subs in a year. I have 1,430 today. Some people would laugh. Oh, I stopped her. I made her. People not listening to her. They don't want to hear that stuff. May be true, but I have some faithful subscribers, and I appreciate you guys. You don't know how much, and especially for the engagement. I veer off course only to address issues that need to be addressed, but trust me, I'm not off the path of where my mission is, and that is to help uplift fallen humanity. I heard Funky Geneva say Whenever you lose your way, always come back home. That was a powerful statement. Those are the things that we teach our children. We attempt to lay a foundation in such a way that maybe when they leave home, they're equipped. Some of us do. A lot of us don't get an opportunity to do that because we don't even know. That's why we send them for education in hopes that the things that we taught them, that the education system will help them build and help them develop their creativity and become the great person that they're destined to be. That doesn't always happen, but that's our hope and our desire as parents. It was getting hard at times to try to figure out what to talk about, because there's so much chaos and craziness going on. You really just don't know what to talk about. And then, when I think about, well, you don't really have a lot of people, and you don't have this and you don't have that. And then I had to grab my mind and have a conversation with my son. And I had to be reminded of what I do have. Hey, Donkey Green, I had to be reminded what I do have. And that's some faithful subscribers who look forward to me coming and stay with me until I'm done. You can't ask for any more than that. That's what YouTube is showing us, that they're looking for more engagement. So the days of the big numbers are over. Doesn't matter how many numbers you have. Do you have anybody who's willing to hear what you have to say and add to the conversation? That's what it's all about. That's what it's been about for me from day one. Oh yeah, I would love to hear ching ching, ding ding, ring ring, ling ling. But I didn't get on here for that. I honestly didn't. Now, we do know this is another stream of income. And so if we have commercials, we have a check coming in every month. If we get super chats, we have a semblance of a check coming in every month. If we get memberships, we have a semblance of a check coming in. And I say a semblance because they get a pretty good percentage of your super chats and your memberships. The greatest thing for you as an individual is your advertisement, and they're being very particular about what they're putting advertisement on. Greetings, MSO. So you have to be very careful. Now, I don't know what topics you can discuss, and that was what my video was about last week, that for some reason, some people who say they don't look at me, someone always called and let them know, Toothless said, and they always get it wrong, that I was leaving my show. May it never be. I don't leave until I leave. And my work here is not done. Not at all. I'm one of those people, as I stated, if I have to come here and talk to myself, I'm good. I can do that. And have fun doing that. A lot of things I don't engage in. As an elder, there are things that I choose not to expound on. And especially as an elder of a people who don't know who they are, who do not have a sense of camaraderie, teamwork, because that's what it's going to take. Team, organization, participation. Iceberg always in the mornings give us a morning message to help us start our day. That is so needed, not just in this sector, But in the world today, because so many of us are facing so many different things, we don't know which way it's coming in the course of a day. It could be a job lost, maybe a job gained. It could be the way that they're doing you in your rental properties. In most cities, and I thought it was just here in Dallas, Texas, but it's really when I talk to different people and I look at different news stories, they're adding to people's rent monthly by charging them to park in a parking space that should be allocated for them. They're treating all cities now as if they're the larger cities with the same population problems as a city such as New York or something of that nature. Some people were never given a parking spot. They always had to pay. But imagine being on a fixed income and your rent is this amount, and now they start charging you an extra $3 to $5 a day to park your vehicle. That can be devastating to one's budget. So it's just really amazing the real life issues that we have and that we go through on a daily basis. And we come here, we say, to escape the craziness. I don't know if y'all remember this song by James Brown. It's mainly musical, but it's a very nice song. It's called Escapism. And so we call ourselves coming here to escape and to laugh and have fun, only to get here and to be drugged into some of the most heinous situations or doxxed all over YouTube. Those things are not good feelings, but they happen nonetheless. And we deal with it, and we continue to do what we came here to do. And so what I came to do was to help uplift fallen humanity. And I decided to just kind of go back to my beginning. What inspired me to be here. And that was to share my life, my experiences, my knowledge, the wisdom I've acquired, in hopes that it would inspire someone else. Just when you think you can't make it or you can't do it, you can say, oh, look at that 64-year-old woman doing it. Disabled, to some broke down, to others uplifting. And that's where I choose to stay, in the uplifting zone. You know, I am a person, I study nature because I understand the true, today I do. No one has to understand this as I do. The beautiful thing about being human, we are unique in the fact that we can think independent of each other as well as we can think alike. There are absolutes in life, but the absolutes are not written. It is the principle of life, and it works the same way for an animal, for a bee, for a flower, for a tree, for the grass. The principles of life I'm talking about. But I look at the animal kingdom and I study the lions and the elephants more than anything, because they're the closest groups of animals that are like humans and display human characteristics. But one of the things you learn about the study of nature is our constitution, that means our bodies, should be in harmony with nature. Greetings, Asatar. In harmony with nature. And if we look at the lions, we look at the king of the jungle. And we can see that king, and most of the times you're just going to see the king. You're just going to be lying around. sleep. You don't even want the kids playing with him. He's just being the king. And then you look at the queen, the lioness, as she's known. She's the nurturer. She teaches the children how to hunt. You know, in human terms, we say, don't just give me a fish. Teach me how to fish. So that when you're not there, I can feed myself. That's what the lioness does. She teaches her young how to hunt and how to survive in the jungle. She sharpens their skills. Iron sharpens iron. She knows the strength of her cubs, and she deals with them accordingly. And in nature, truly, only the strong survive. She teaches them to be self-sufficient. She teaches them self-discipline. Remind you of anything? Hey, sci-fi. Then when they reach a certain age, hi, Allison, and I don't know what that age is because it's different ages for different animal sets. But when they reach the age of maturity, they leave and start out on their own. And that's the sons. You see, because in the kingdom, there can only be one king. So the sons must go and start their own. The daughters will stay with her mother until one of them dies off. And she will restart the next generation. When I look at the elephants, they have a degree of intelligence that is so high, it kind of lets you know that this IQ thing is just a measuring rod to use against human beings. Because the elephants are so family oriented that their children, literally, even the sons, stay with their mothers until they're 40 years old. And here we are kicking our children out. Can't wait till they turn 18. Half of them kicked out before that, emotionally and mentally. And we've learned that the human brain doesn't actually fully develop until an individual is about 25 years of age. And we're starting with such a deficit. Many of us don't know this knowledge because it's not taught in a classroom. Yeah, we go to school to be educated. And in the beginning, we don't know what we're lacking in education. It's not until you get out and start having conversations with other people that you start feeling real dumb and stupid in just simple conversations. And then you be thinking to yourself, well, I don't know that. And it's because you were not taught. You had no idea you had a need to know. And then you blame yourself. And it causes you to have emotional trauma. And wherever there is turmoil and discord, there is division. And then instead of you going home trying to figure out a way to make it different. You kind of go home and misplace your anger on the people you love the most. And I'm not saying that everybody do this. This has just been my experience in having conversations with individuals. Excuse me. I really am better, but I still have a cough. So today I kind of want to talk about our children. Yeah, so at least you're 40. Our children, what's really happening with our children? Because we're in a crisis. Not even just that the children are coming up missing. I seen a Facebook post and it had about 11 or 12 children that's been missing for a while. And of course, if it's not somebody that's close to you, they're just a picture on Facebook. And so Alicia can truly relate to what I'm talking about. They live with this every day. But imagine, if you will, that it was you or someone that you loved or knew dearly. But I've also seen and heard some personal conversations. And when I heard Lord King this morning, it was so amazing because he was talking about an incident that he had with his son. It's someone I know and love dearly just had the same type incident with their daughter. The children today feel so entitled. And when I say children, all of them are not minors. They may be just young adults. Haven't reached the age of 25. Certainly above the age of 12. But we know this is the age of AI. And some of us have fallen real short as parents because we've allowed AI to rear our children. And I'm not against the iPhone. I have one. The Android, I have one. The tablet, I don't have one of those. The laptop, the desktop, the PS5 4321 Blast Zero, whatever, Pac-Man, all of the games, all of the things you buy your children. Number one, you buy them because time is really changing and you want them to be in the know of the change. Some of it is peer pressure and you don't want to put an extra burden on your children if you can afford for it not to be there, because peer pressure is real. But it goes back to the foundation. And just because you lay a solid foundation doesn't mean your child won't be influenced outside of the home. That's why you lay the foundation, and it is written that you train a child in the way it should go so that when it is old, it shall not depart from it. And it doesn't mean that they're not going to make mistakes and have bumps in the road. We all do. Very rarely do we travel the road less traveled. straight and narrow path. You know, we have to be on that road with the curves and the dips and the bumps and the hills. And sometimes no shoulders. And there are even some places you're riding on the side of the water. I know that's in California. And I don't know if it's the 101, the somebody, but it's a coastal drive with no railings. You go up in the mountains, the Ozarks of Arkansas and different places, and you're riding around mountain curves, and there is no railing on the side. And if you don't handle it right, you're not coming out of that. You're going over the hill. And I mean really over the hill, the cliff, whatever you want to call it. But they have a sign of how many people entered and how many didn't make it out. So life is really the same way. So it's not about blame. And I think that's the hardest thing for the human to separate. Because we must know that, you know, if you point one finger, you're going to always have three and a thumb coming back at you. And then when you start putting blame in the picture, then you're never going to resolve the issue. One thing about being human that I have an issue with, and I don't believe it's just me, and that is that it's real hard to own up to your shortcomings. Some of us do it well. Some of us not so much. M. Soul said, my drill, these kids something else these days. But who be giving them the business is me. And that's a good thing. Because these children really are. And so you should see how they act in a dental office. But I'd be like, sit down somewhere. So Alicia said these children are almost close to nonverbal, socially awkward, no eye contact. But I do my best to break that wall. And that's a good thing and a good observation, so Alicia, because one thing that people have to realize, not only do we have psychology, which is the operating of our mind, the logic, you know, the basis of the principles in which we live, we also have sociology, where we're social beings and we must learn how to communicate one with another. You also got to know who you are and be comfortable in who you are. That's one of the good things about what Iceberg teaches in his morning messages. He starts us off with, have you said your positive affirmations today? And he doesn't give you any affirmations to say. And Iceberg, I really would sometime like to hear some suggestions. And I know you've done that. But I just believe, and it's just me, so suffer me in my folly, but I just believe a lot of people, excuse me, don't even have a clue of what you're talking about. Not that they don't understand the word affirm, and perhaps they do, but maybe they use it in a different way. We live in a world of need to know, and I promise you, if we don't need to know, most of us don't know it. We don't believe in seeking. And that's one of the things we're taught, to seek truth, seek knowledge. And most of us don't and won't do that. But it's a must that we seek knowledge and truth. That's the only way we can give it to our children. We got to know it. M-Soul said facts, no eye contact at all. Ask these kids questions, they look at you and say, huh? And that's so very true. I don't even know if they know how to have a conversation. Because most of the teachings in the schools today are doing what? Teaching to pass tests. I don't know about school systems throughout the United States, but the way the system works here in the state of Texas, one moment, please. The way the systems work in the state of Texas, they get paid for every child that attends school. And basically, they just want you there before 10 a.m. And as long as you're there by 10 a.m., that's when they do the counting to account for the money that they're going to get paid for that student. Then you're good. After 10 a.m., if you should happen to walk away from the school, and, I'm not saying this literally, but figuratively, you just gone. Because according to them, you were there that day because they got paid. So you can come and leave early. But if you come late, you are of no good to the count for their payment after 10 o'clock. And you can just come back the next day. Now, what happened to the education that they used to teach? Now, most of the kids are being taught to a test. A lot of children don't understand effective communication. Is asking a question, listening to the question, and responding when the question has been asked. A lot of people honestly do not listen to the question so they can formulate their thoughts to respond to what you're asking them. A lot of people, when asked the question, they're already preparing for how they're going to come back at you. It's really sad. People today don't even think that they're having real conversations. They think everything you say to them, they got to snap back. They can't just talk. It's like, I got to one-up you. You're not going to make me look bad. You're not going to make me feel bad. That may not even be your desired end. You could really just want some information, and you believe that person to have the information. Madrid said, and I'm calling Maria Madria. Lord, I'm losing it. Maria said, M-Soul, I saw the video of the girl who threw the shoe at the teacher and talked back until police came to remove her. And so say, that's when you pay the parents a visit. Maria say, yeah, she disrupted that class for like 30 minutes. Even the other kids was telling her to shut up and get out. It's sad. Most children that act out like that are the ones that's hurting the most, is what I found, just like about the bully. That's the one that's hurting the most. And they envy you. They envy your very existence. I mean, really, people will have issues with you just for your countenance, your looks, the texture and the length of your hair, your integrity, your personality. And don't be tenacious. Your stick-to-itiveness. People will envy you for your life, and you have no clue, because you think it's mediocre, and you just think that you're just here on this earth. You don't know what you want to do, where you're going to go, and someone is sitting there envying you because they see you as a well put together package. And that's why it's so very, very important that you know yourself and you affirm yourself. You tell yourself who you are. You don't let anyone else tell the world who you are. You define you, and your actions must line up with your words. And you don't do it for others. You do it for yourself, your children, anyone that's around you that look up to you, because people are watching you, whether you realize it or not. People are watching, and they're taking notes. And sometimes when you're not even around, people are emulating you. They are. And that's a compliment, especially if the behavior is one that is befitting greatness, because that's what you want to try to instill in children, to use their creativity. What we have allowed AI to do is to take away their creativity, and they're immersed in a fictitious world. And that's where we as parents got to step in. We got to have conversations with our children. We need to know how they're thinking at every stage of their lives. We need to know who they're listening to, what they're listening to, what they're looking at, who their friends are, what do they believe and think. We need to know these things. It's very important, because if we don't, we lose them. We'll lose them to the streets. We'll lose them to the penitentiary, or we'll lose them to the grave. So many people are on mind-altering drugs. People you would never even imagine. And the mind-altering drugs do not necessarily have to be illegal drugs. And so we haven't done the cloth since my nephew, who's now 56, was a little kid. He used to put the brick spun Eric iron cloth upside the forehead. And trust me, That was a funny deal. I think that it's incumbent upon us to introduce those things back to our children. But most of us are so caught up in the metaverse and on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We don't have time to teach our children how to jump rope, hopscotch. And I don't even know if they sell jacks and marbles anymore in the store. And what's that ball on the stick? Is it Sacco? Is what they call it. You know, parents used to get out there and try to race their children. All of those days are over. You can't even get the children outside. And I don't care where you go. You see people, you can see 4 people. Okay, that's what y'all called it. Paddleball. I think we called it Sacco. Well, some people was really good at it. I did all right, but I couldn't do them long ones and all the different ways, and I just did just the regular little up and down. And I could do a little sideways. But yeah, it's amazing how some people can take anything and make it look genius. And that's the individuality of the people. Yeah, Maria, those faces are priceless. But it's things like that. Remember how our parents be telling us the stuff they did when they were young and we be laughing thinking that's funny? And now we actually can tell children today some things we've done. Something even as simple as a 8-track or a cassette. Those things are long gone. Floppy disk, long gone. Rotary dial telephone, long gone. And I'm sure you probably could buy some at some resale or some novelty store. But I mean, they're really a thing of the past. Yeah, Maria, the Rubik's Cube, it's a little fella, Charleston White, introduced that can do that cube in so many seconds. And he has his own YouTube channel doing the Rubik's Cube. Yeah, it's amazing how times change, how things change. A lot of our children are being abused. Our children are not reading at the level that they should by the 3rd grade. And if they're reading, they don't comprehend what they're reading. And we know reading is fundamental. And if you don't comprehend what you're reading, you're just calling out words. You're just calling out words. We got to know that there is a system in place. And if we don't understand the systems ourselves, we cannot prepare our children for the future. And we say that the children are our future. Look at the state of our future today. We have actually sons and daughters getting so upset with their parents that they have the audacity to actually raise their hands to their parents. We have men on trial right now. I've been watching the trial of this man, and I just can't see no way this man can come out less than the death sentence. Now, he may not get it, but I can't see how he can't come out no way less than the death sentence. And he had his son's mother's daughter at his home, and she disappeared the middle of the night. Beautiful 10-year-old child. I was watching the closing arguments, and I just really wanted to just jump through that TV and just beat the mess out of that defense attorney. And I know it's his duty to represent his client. I know that. But I just wanted to do it. I mean, everything in me. I mean, the way that man tore apart that story, because, he was telling the judge about reasonable doubt, because his attorneys, they said his attorneys elected to have a non-jury trial, but we know his attorneys may advised him, but he made the decision to have a non-jury trial. Your attorneys can't make that decision for you. So we are told. But they felt they had a better chance at law with the judge than with a jury, because they know no reasonable or prudent person is going to agree that this man didn't do what happened to that baby when she came up missing in the middle of the night on his watch, and his girlfriend looked out and saw that baby standing next to that car. It just, you just can't convince me otherwise. And they say it's real circumstantial, but circumstantial put together well can work. And I can't see a judge and nobody else hearing that story and looking at that man. And I know you ain't supposed to judge people if you're judging their case by their looks, but it's just no way in earth I would be able to separate the two. So it's a good thing that people are able to sit as judges, because I don't believe all of us can do that job justly and fairly. And maybe a lot of them are not doing it, but that's all we have. And she was a beautiful little girl. That's right. All they needed was one. But that would have been unanimous. And I say it would have been 5 minutes. I don't even think it would have took them an hour. I think once they got in the jury room and sit down, they all would have wrote on the paper, guilty, and they got up and came on back out. It's really, really, really disheartening. But you see so many now of those type stories in the news today. And you see a lot of stories where the young adults are killing each other. The guys with the girls that's going to have their children. I looked at some interrogations, and boy, if y'all think that stuff is not something to see, it is really something to see. Is another guy, totally different from this guy, who took a little girl. She was 12 in his apartment complex. And he was cool, calm, and collected the majority of the interrogation. Oh, and he was adamant about he didn't even know her. He knew nothing about that kid. And I love the steps that they take when they break them down and they start admitting stuff without, in their mind, they're outsmarting the detectives, but they're actually putting themselves in smack in the middle of the crime without knowing that's what they're doing. First, they don't know him at all. Then all of a sudden, well, they did speak to one another. Then all of a sudden, well, that was a nice little kid. How you know all that if you didn't know him? It's amazing to me. They start putting themselves right in the middle. And they didn't show him when he confessed. But after all of that saying what he didn't do and he could never do, it turned out he did do. And then I saw one that was so crazy. You know, just when you thought you've seen everything, a young man was mad at his girlfriend because he said she gave him an STD. And he called his mother to tell her that he's just going to end it all for the girl. And the mother actually talked him into doing it. I mean, you know, most mothers would say, no, please don't, just stay away. Not this mother. That was the craziest thing. And they had text between each other. And they showed all of the text. What have we come to as a people? And these are all manner of people. Different ethnicities, races, if you will. I'm a believer in the human race, but, you know, races, if you will. But they're actually doing these things. I saw a story where a bus driver let 2 5-year-olds off on a bus. The wrong. And the children were lost. They were a mile away from where they lived. The little baby boy showed up on a woman's porch, crying, asking to help find his mommy. The mother went looking for her son. It was her son and her boyfriend's daughter. They were 5 years old. And she found the bus driver and asked where did the bus driver let her child off, and they don't know. So who are we hiring to drive these children? I mean, how can you as a parent take your child to school entrusting them to do the right thing, and they provide the transportation, and then they drop them off a mile away? Actually, they dropped them off not too far away from where they were supposed to, but the children ended up going a mile away from where they were dropped off. This stuff really happens. It really happened. Who would imagine such a thing? That's happening today with these children. What is it that we can do different? Because something is going to have to give. And I believe we collectively as a people are going to have to try to assist. But I don't know how hard, we're going to be able to make a difference, because the hardest thing I think is going to be to get to the parents, to get them to understand there is a need for a change, to do something different, to take them away from the metaverse, for so many hours of a day. For some people, that's their in-house babysitter. And who are you to tell me, is what you hear a lot of people say, how to rear my children. I do things my way. But we got to find a way as, the elders, to help our mothers and fathers with their children. And you know how they always say children don't come with the book. Maybe some of us need to start writing some books. On our experience as parents. Different things that you've tried as a mother or father. Different techniques that worked and some that didn't work. But just giving an idea of something that a person can do different. Because it's a lot of pain. And I don't foresee the pain getting any better anytime soon. And what I like to try to leave people with is there is a system in place. And until we deal with the system, but if we don't understand the system, we can never deal with it. We need to understand that there is a system in place, and it's based on, to me, classism. Most people think it's based on racism. I think that's just what they gave the masses so that they can stay divided, so they won't come together and start having the conversation. Because I think when we have the conversation and we ask the when, the what, the why, the where, the who, the how, when we ask those questions and we really are seeking true answers, we'll find out that a lot of the things that we have are in common. And I know this is probably stuff we all know, and we all probably think, and we all probably say to ourselves. And we may even have these conversations, with family members or whatever. But they need to be had, and they need to be had with our children. And I know that we're all not teachers and we're all not scholars, but we got to start coming up with our own aptitude tests that we can test our children's knowledge or their comprehension skills by just asking them a couple of questions a week. Make it mandatory that they answer. If it ain't nothing but 5 questions a week. And then actually allot time where y'all can get together and actually talk about the answers. I also believe in giving children the freedom to speak to you in their own vernacular. You set aside a time and you give permission. It's just one of the ways that it worked for me. And then you give the child permission to just go for it. And during this time period, you can say whatever you need to say. It won't be held against you. But it's this time period, not outside of this time period. But you have permission. That really worked well with me. And we all are creative in our own right. So there's all kind of witty ways to do things. I think we need to share them with one another, because some people may be frustrated and get stuck and just don't know what to do. They want to do something different, but they don't know what to do. So the only thing I can say is that, as for me and my channel, we're here until I decide to leave, not when others decide for me to leave. No matter if I get new subscribers or not. It doesn't matter. I came here with a purpose, and I'm fulfilling my purpose. And perhaps, just perhaps, I can say something that will help somebody who was stuck somewhere figure it out. If I couldn't get it this way, maybe I can try it that way. And maybe, just maybe, it'll work. It's a lot of pain on this app. It's a lot of craziness on this app. But it's also a lot of brilliant and resilient people on this app. Creative, competent people. And because of our training as a herd animal husbandry, we tend to get in and follow the crowd. Sometimes we find ourselves following the wrong crowd. But be of good cheer. At any point in time, you can change your mind. You can change course. Anytime you see yourself veering off from who you know yourself to be, you can check yourself before you wreck yourself. You can honestly do that. I don't know if you ever ask yourselves, why is it that we don't know finance, politics, civics, law? The basic things we need to be able to have and maintain a productive life. And since they don't teach that in most of our schools, perhaps you should go to the half-price bookstore. Or you can even go online. They have the thrifty books. And just start getting some courses for dummies. Something that you can get. They even have those type books on, young adults, on teens, on preteens. Start getting the books on those levels and challenge your children to read them. You don't have to get a 300 to 400, 500 page novel. You can get something that will keep their interest for a moment and quiz them on what they learned from the book. There's so many ways that we can help, and we probably think we can't help, because I know I'm not a great teacher. I get to hollering and screaming at the kids. They'll forget everything they knew when they came to me. So that's not one of the things I do. What I would be is the person that would provide the books or the help that they need. That's the best way that I can contribute. So find out what you're willing to do. Because one of the things that we know when it comes to children, you have to commit, be consistent, compassionate, and considerate. And if you're not doing that on a constant basis, then you're not developing trust. And if you don't have trust, then you don't have a relationship. No matter how you think you do. You may have a relation. You may even have a ship. But I guarantee you, without trust, it's sinking fast. And everybody is trying to jump ship. So yeah, I just thought I'd go back to my roots and do what I do. It fits me. It gives me life and energy. All of the craziness that's going on is really sad, but at some point it's going to have to come to an end. And I pray that it's not a tragic end, because it's almost as if people really want things to happen. You know, it's just like you look at these shows on TV, kind of like The Stories or The Housewives, the Love and Hip Hops, the Basketball Wives, and one while they had the NFL Wives. These people are all living an illusion, at least the people that we're seeing. And we're seeing it play out right here in the metaverse here on YouTube. People are losing spouses, houses, friendships, kinships. You see all kinds of things. And you ask for what? What is it about? These people around us are not making millions. Trust me, not on YouTube. They're not even making the hundreds of thousands. And they're willing to shred all sense of decency and dignity, self-restraint and self-respect. They're willing to throw all that out the window just to say that I'm number one. I'm the best. I have the biggest and the littest. People are doing that all over the metaverse. And what's the payoff? It can't be great. You know, it's that time where I play my little Jennifer. Because a lot of us are caught up in things we don't want to let go of. And it could be the male or the female. It doesn't matter which one. But we find ourselves demanding love, respect, honesty, loyalty. And those things are not demanded. They're given. They're earned based on who you are and how you treat people. In order to have friends, you got to show yourself friendly. And a lot of people are not friendly. Not at all. And superficially, they seem to have the most people around them. But do know it's superficial. We got to get down to the real meat and potatoes of the matter. We got to do better as a people. It's an MUST must. You know, sometimes in a relationship, be it male or female, we tend to not want to let go. No matter what's going on in our relationship, we just want to hold on. Sometimes we find ourselves singing this song. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. Ooh, 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 love me. You're gonna love me. And I am telling you, I'm not going, even though the rough times are showing. There's just no way, there's no way. We're part of the same place. We're part of the same time. We both share the same blood. We both have the same mind. And time we've had so much to share. No, 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 no. I'm not waking up tomorrow morning and finding that there's nobody there. Darling, there's no way. No, 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 no way. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. You see, there's just no way. There's no way. Tear down the mountains, yell, scream, and shout. Like you can say what you want to. I'm not walking out. Stop all the rivers, push, strike, and kill. I'm not going to leave you. There's no way I will. And I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no way. No, 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 no way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. Not living without you. I don't want to be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me. Yes, you are. Ooh, ooh, love me. Ooh, 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 love me. Love me. Love me. Love me. You're gonna love me. You can't beat the tag team giving, no matter how hard you try. They'll just keep on and keep on telling lies on videos. Do or die. They'll send trolls in your chat to get you all bent. You just keep going and stay focused on the content, because you can't beat the tag team giving. That ain't no lie. It is written, shun the very appearance of evil, and don't let your good be evil spoken of. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. You see, Cheryl will do what she said she will do. She will stand by her word and see it through. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. There just ain't one weapon, no. You see, I'm the weapon, and I do what I say I'm going to do. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Everybody was YouTube fighting. Those cats were fast as lightning. In fact, it is a little bit frightening. Make sure you have expert timing. There is little skinny mister and his underboss muddy black. They be lying up front and recording you in the back. From a hit the cash app to make the haters mad. Through your super chats, they would have stolen all you had. Everybody was YouTube fighting. Ha! Those cats were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. Ha! Make sure you have expert timing. YouTube fighting. Hands and feet, fast as lightning. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Texas in the South, Louisiana in the South, Georgia in the South, Florida in the South. Everybody do the shark boy, shark boy. Hey, shark boy, shark boy. Everybody do the shark boy, shark boy. Hey, shark boy, shark boy. I said he's sitting on the beach and playing in the sand. The people want to swim and they snapping at their hand. I said he's sitting on the beach, they playing in the sand. The people trying to swim and they snapping at their hand. Do the shark boy, shark boy. Hey, shark boy, shark boy. Everybody do the shark boy, shark boy. Hey, shark boy, shark boy. I said he's sitting on the beach and playing in the sand. The people trying to swim and he's snapping at their hands. I said he's playing on the beach and sitting in the sand. People trying to swim and he's snapping at their hands. Do the shark boy. Hey. Brown skin girl, Your tender eyes makes me wanna hurl. It's your forehead against the world. Kwame will never trade you for another girl. Brown skin girl. Your tender eyes makes me wanna hurl. It's your forehead against the world. Kwame will never trade you for another girl. So now we've been reduced to voodoo dolls. I think that's awful. But who am I? So this is what I did, sir. Do 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 do. I told the witch doctor I'm tired of you bullying me. Do 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 do. I told the witch doctor I me in 2003. Do do. I told the witch doctor you need to leave me be. And the witch doctor told me this is how you must be free. You go ooh ah, ting ting, walla walla bing bang. Ooh ah, ting ting, walla walla bing bang. Ooh ting ting, walla walla bing bang. Toot toot, wah wah wah, ding like a ling ding. So every time you pacemaker a blast, I send it back to you 100-fold. I don't believe in that stuff, and neither should you. But do what you do, and just remember, ooh ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Ooh ah, ting tang, walla walla bing bang. He's in love with the chokehold, known as a buster and a wrangler. He's in love with the chokehold, goes by the name of Texas Strangler. He's in love with the chokehold. He got his hand around her neck. He's in love with the chokehold. He said you ain't seen nothing yet. He's in love with the chokehold. That's my name, my car, my house. He's in love with the chokehold. I'm feeling scared as a church mouse. He's in love with the chokehold, known as a buster and a wrangler. He's in love with the chokehold, known as the Texas Strangler. Tangled-eyed girl, your tender eyes makes me wanna hurl. It's your forehead against the world. Kwame will never trade you for another girl. Tangled-eyed girl, your tender eyes makes me wanna hurl. It's your forehead against the world. Kwame will never trade you for another girl. Tangled-eyed girl, your tender eyes makes me wanna hurl. It's your forehead against the world. Kwame will never trade you for another girl. Brown skin lady, where your husband at? When he woke up, you were typing in that chat. He sat up so he could think. Next thing he knew, you were taking skinny link. He left home to be with his side piece. He left home to be with his side piece. He said, baby, this ain't right. I'm gonna leave and go back home tonight. It was about 4 a.m. when he grabbed a handle. He walked right in and you were on a panel. He left home to be with his side piece. He left home to be with his side piece. Everybody wants to know what's inside my groove. I don't even care as long as it makes you move. Some people call it rock and roll. Some people call it soul. It doesn't even matter as long as it makes you move. You can call it what you want to. Whatever feels right. You can call it what you want to. The parody is for you to just dance all night. Be free to call it what you want. As long as the sound makes you move and groove. You can call it what you want. You can call it what you want. What is this groove that makes you move? Some people call it fun. The music that I sing has no name. Call it whatever you want. What is this groove that makes you move? Some people call it fun. The music that I sing has no name. Call it whatever you want. You can call it what you want. Skinny boy. No matter how the skinny gang flag, you can't stop my bag. What did I say? You're trying to stop my pay. What did I say? You're trying to stop my pay. What did I say? You're trying to stop my pay. I can't lose with the stuff I use. What did I say? You're trying to stop my pay. Do you feel beat? You don't want me to eat. What did I say? You're trying to stop my pay. What did I do to any of you? Skinny boy. I'm going to ask you again. Just know you can't win. What did I say for you to stop my pay? We're not against content. We're not against content creators and supportive subscribers. But we are against those bullies, stalkers, and harassers. It's the thuggish, rugged. It's the thuggish, ruggish cons. 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 You got Gotti, Retro 813, Black Mondo's in the house, Lady D, Jay's in the house, and Skinny, the Don. Fake money, fake money, fake money, fake money, fake money. These niggas always tell a lie on you, and if you're not gonna sue, they think the lie becomes the truth. I know that this song gets very corny, but it's not worse than showing 10 racks of phony money. Fake money. fake money, fake money, fake money, fake money, fake money, Mundo, baby, baby. The time has come for us. Stop messing around. I almost thought you really were serious about stop bullying. Oh, Mondo. So many times I thought you were sincere. For you to say I found the charges in my ear, Mondo. You start doxing. Oh, my heart was yearning for you to file charges against Skinny Mister. My heart was a yearning for you to file the charge. Oh, my heart was yearning for you to file the charge. Mondo can't keep doxing everybody's life. Mondo doxing everybody's life. You can't Mondo doxing everybody's life. Mondo doxing everybody's life. You can't Mondo doxing everybody's life. Mondo doxing everybody's life. Oh, no. Let me take you back to my elementary school days. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. People. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. I didn't do nothing to these people. People. I didn't do anything to these people. But I'm being bullied anyway. We will stop the bullying. And it starts with me. My new hashtag, not me. See that old man over there in his chair? This old man is living in the bottle. He done quit his 9 to 5. He drink full time, and now he's living in the bottle. Well, see that old man over there in his chair? This old man got a problem, and it's a bad one. Now he done pawned off everything, his old woman wedding ring for the bottle. Well, and don't you think it's a crime when time after time people living in the bottle? These people living in the bottle, y'all. Well, I thought I'd give us a mini concert. Over the past year when I was going through and people were calling me some of everything but a child of the Creator, I had to find a way to cope, and so I just started making up songs that came to my head. So It's just parody, and I thought it sounded good to me. And I thank you guys for liking my songs. Everybody don't too much like them, but a lot of people do, and I enjoy them. It's just a way to escape the craziness. We got to find a way to escape. Goes back to James Brown, escapism. I just wanted to let you guys know Izetta, MSO, and I know that I gave wrench to Crystal, and I explained, you guys, I'm not expecting you all to do anything. MSO, you've been so good to me and welcoming, and you don't hesitate to drop my link, and to me that means everything. I'm not expecting y'all to do anything. You have the power to do what you do with the wrench. I trust you all's judgment. Excuse me. So I don't want you to feel beholden to me, because I know these people go real crazy with these wrenches. I don't know, they change. They think that it's some type of magical power, or I don't know why people act like they act. People used to give me wrenches all the time. I didn't even know the function of a wrench, but now I do know. And I just wanted you guys to know that I appreciate you all for supporting me in the way that you do. It's so many people that look at me possibly, but are afraid to type into the chat because of the attacks and the doxings that they do to people, or they don't want anybody to know that they support Toothless. One of the things when I was going through the throes of this craziness of this man who talks about me every single day, one of the things he says, the way you destroy someone's channel is you get them to talk about you, and then you have their people to come to you and your people. He was streaming my lives, and probably still is. And so his people won't come to me to look at what's going on. And so that's how you kill a channel. But he cannot kill what he didn't give life. And I gave birth to this channel. So I gave it life. And it won't die unless I say bye. And I won't do that until I'm ready. If, again, nobody shows up but me, I'm going to be here talking to myself. I do that very well. But I know since day one, I've had Maria Asatar, some day one people, long head, lazy bone. And whether I see you or not, that's fine. It's really okay. Because my thing is, if I can say something to anybody in the world that get to see my videos, and if it can help you in any way or encourage you in any way, then my job is done. I didn't come here to fight and to, do the things that I found myself doing because I had to cover me and my name. I never thought I would be in a federal lawsuit, but I am. And I'm good. And so I don't worry about me and what I do. And whatever the end result is, it is what the court says. It's not what I say. So they can plaster my paper all over the wall, and Mundo can get it and try to interpret it and read it and make it sound stupid and silly. But at first it was fake and it wasn't real. But I bet you the one that's involved knows how real it really is. I bet you they know what it feels like to lose 4 channels, even though they're trying to take my 1 channel and take my subscribers and my donations and all of that. Baby, you do what you do best, because I'm going to keep on doing me. It ain't no half-stepping. This is the Get Fresh crew over here. So it ain't no half-stepping. You can believe that. And I don't step much. But when I step, I step. And I don't use weapons of mass destruction. Matter of fact, I don't use weapons of any kind. I am the weapon. And so when you come up against me, you come up against something and somebody. And I am to be recognized, whether you do or not. You better believe I'm internationally known and worldwide recognized. And really, people that I know see me as a shining star. And I believe it's enough sky up here for all of our stars to shine. But since some of you can't fathom that, and you think you have to attack a 64-year-old disabled woman and make up all manner of lies, and people actually believe those lies, then shame on you. My daddy always said he don't blame the teller of the lie. He blamed the believer, and especially the one that have seen me and have seen my character. Hey, Cachet. And like I said, I do this not to make you all feel obligated. If you never come back over here, it's fine. But because of how good you have received and been good to me, that's why I do what I do, for no other reason. And you guys can drop a link if you want to. If you don't want to, I do not care. Like I told Maria, she does so much, and she really doesn't have to, but that's who she is. And so she does her thing. But you all have power to make whatever decision. I trust your judgment. I don't mind people saying stupid stuff, but I'm going to tell you, when they're disrespectful, I have zero tolerance, and I block. I want them gone. And sometimes I may beat you guys because I do look at the chat. I don't have such a big chat that is rolling so fast that I can't see. I can damn near spell out every word that's in my chat before it moves up a notch. That's how slow it moves. But I'm very in tune. But I appreciate the kindness you guys have shown me and the welcoming you gave me when I came to Sister T's. And I support you guys, and I thank you all for supporting me. And don't ever think for one moment, because people will try to start all kind of stuff. I had a lady, and I don't know if it's a lady. I believe it's probably a Mondo, or it's probably that other man, Skinny, made a comment in the name of a woman that I've never seen on my last video. In my last video, I was only talking about how YouTube is, now rating all of our videos and how hard they're getting. But their language is so ambiguous, it does not apply to my videos. But they seem to think it does, and it's their platform. So, okay, I'll go along with what they say. But I was almost at one moment not knowing what to talk about. I didn't know whether to get on here and just start reciting A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I really didn't know what to talk about because it seems like everything now is so off limits. But like I said, I just decided to go back home and just do me. And that's what I do. And, I support who I want to support. But the person was very, very ugly. And, that's how people get caught up in bullshit. But you don't have to worry about me. I'm pretty straightforward. I'm not confrontational at all. But I'm very straightforward. And I'm very easy to talk to. I have a email right there. And it's very easy to email me. And I like talking better than I do texting. I only do the texting because we have to. That's the way we communicate. You think people are on one page, but what you come to know, what I found out over my 2 years of being on YouTube now, a lot of these people go into these Discords and they have private and personal conversations, and they get together and they plot, and then they come back and they execute the plot. And when you're not knowing how this thing works, you don't know that's what they're doing. I didn't realize that everything is content to get clicks, likes, and views. I do it on my own merit. Either you like me or you don't, and that's fine. I'm so in love with me, it doesn't matter how anybody else feels. But it does feel good when someone, for me, treat me with the kindness and respect that I give to them. That means everything to me. And so, if I get cash apps and super chats, trust me, I'm happy. I'm very happy. But if I don't get a one, trust me, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I worked 40 years in public service, and I have a pretty nice retirement check and OPM pension. So I don't live bad. I'm not rich, and I'm, by nobody's I guess where I would love to be, and that's just to be able to live comfortably without any thoughts of paying bills. But I don't live like that. I live like most Americans. Some are very good with their finances. Most are not. I'm in the most are not category. But I pay my bills and I treat people like I want to be treated. And when people show me kindness, I like to show them kindness as well. And so I am very grateful to you guys for supporting me in my chat, in Uncle Suge's chat, and in Sister T's chat. It's very welcoming when you can go to a place and feel comfortable and laugh and speak and, engage if you choose to. And if you don't, it's fine. But I really have a pretty engaging chat, and I don't tolerate the bullying, the harassment, the stalking. We don't accept people's, avatars of other content creators in here. If you see somebody's avatar, I don't care if it's somebody that associates with me or not. I don't want to see their avatar in here, unless it's that individual. We don't play the little games. One while they were sending the trolls so heavy, but boy, I tell you, Maria's just like a laser, and she gets them. And then you all will see Laura in here from time to time. That's my great niece that I call my daughter, and she's pretty good. And Wilma is my producer actually, and she works two jobs as well. She reads as for a living as well as a teacher. So she does like documentaries and books. So when you buy a book, you may hear her voice on one of those books. That's what she does for her part-time living, and she does pretty well. And sometimes she has some pretty big books, but they're pretty good at getting them. So Alicia, they can pum pum, Astatar pum, Ryan, So I just gave you guys that just to let you know how I feel about you, and you're not beholding to nothing. And I don't want you to feel obligated. And if I'm live and you don't make it, don't feel like, oh man, she's mad at me, and she's gonna take my wrench. No, I don't do all that. I took wrenches once because I didn't understand wrenches, and I had given out so many, and I didn't know people had the power to do the stuff that they can do. I didn't know they could go back and erase things and delete people. I didn't have any of that knowledge. I just came here because I was inspired, and I really, believe it or not, was inspired by Kwame. But I've had many people try to get me to do this for years, and I just didn't do it. But when he came on with the game that he came on with, because it really is game, but I thought that it was really real, I was very inspired, and so I started doing what I do. So I just wanted you guys to know that that's how I feel about y'all. It's nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. I'm very straightforward. And if you have a question of me, you can always ask. I don't do the confrontation on YouTube because everything for me is not content. And if it is, that's not the content that I want. I live in the honor and integrity of my mom and dad, which are both deceased. My mom's been deceased for over 30 years, my father, 15. So I live in that honor, the honor of my son, my siblings, and most of all, myself. And so it's a lot of things I'm not willing to do. And my mom taught her children, never envy people for what they have, because you may not be willing to pay the price they're willing to pay. And I'm not. That's why I only come on twice a week. I'm not willing to be on here 3 and 4 times a day. And I'm not against anybody that does. I trust me, there's not an envious bone in my body. Not mine. But people are who they are. We don't know each other, and they love to remind us how we don't know each other when they're against us. And when they want to pretend to be your friend, then they try to tell you how great you are. Be very leery of those people. I learned the hard way that everybody that come to you with a helping hand is not help. It's a reason. I didn't know all the people that befriended me and called me Annie and loved me so I was like their grandmother or their mother that was deceased or their favorite aunt. I had no idea that they were sent by Skinny and they were gathering information. And the day he decided to make me content, then they started using it against me. Well, I'm so very transparent, believe it or not. I'm that one in that glass house. So I throw bricks. I don't just throw rocks. I throw bricks because you can throw what you want to in me. You're going to see me. I'm going to show you me. And all that you can't see, I'm going to tell you who I am because I am who I say I am. I don't pretend to be nothing other than me. I ain't going to do much, so I ain't mad at people that do. Ain't no need of me getting mad at nobody talking about how big they show is and how this and that, and I ain't doing what they're doing. People are really earning their living or whatever they get out of YouTube. They're really putting in the work, and I commend those people because I promise you I ain't willing to do none of that stuff. Sometimes it's hard for me to come on for the 2 days. Some of it is because I'm just tired, and others is just shit I don't want to, you know. I love to cuss, and I used to cuss a lot. But since they started changing, and they say we still can, but as long as it's not 50%, but I don't trust any of that. So I cuss sparingly today, but I'm a cusser because my daddy cussed, and I couldn't wait to get grown to cuss. I love cussing. But I know how to curtail it. I know how to behave. I know how to be an adult. And I know how to let the little girl in me exist because she's there in all of us. And we as women have to nurture her from time to time. Sometimes we got to heal her because some of us didn't do our shadow work and we're living in pain. But we don't have to live in pain. And we don't have to share it all on YouTube if you choose not to. But you can share. We're here really to be uplifting to one another, whether we believe that or not, whether we do that or not. I know a lot of people said that ain't their purpose for being on YouTube. But you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And me giving out wrenches, please don't think I want no wrench nowhere because I don't. I don't do nothing with wrenches. The only place I drop something is Uncle Suge's, and I always do the thumbs up. I've been doing that since I've been on YouTube. And you don't need a wrench to do the thumbs up. But I don't need a wrench. I'm not trying to get no wrench because I'm going to tell you about me. I ain't finna do nothing with no wrench. I'll drop things with Uncle Suge's to help Maria because Maria is going to be there working like she's really working. And she loves doing what she does, and she's very good at what she does. And so I want to help her when she's there. But other than that, I'm not trying to get no wrench. I don't need no wrench. I don't want no wrench because my wrench days are over. I realize a lot of these people were doing that for the wrong reason, but I didn't understand the concept. I got it today. I'm a YouTuber now. I really know how it worked. I didn't know in the beginning, but trust me, I learned the hard way, not because I was hard-headed and someone tried to teach me. That's the problem. Teaches people really what it's like. I'm always encouraging people to get a page yourself. We all have a page. We just have to put it into operation. But if you have something you love, something you do well, you don't even have to do it well. There's an audience out there for everything. It is billions of people that look at YouTube, and everybody get whatever they get out of it. So you don't have to be like everybody else, and you don't have to group up with nobody. But I'm going to support who I want to support, and I'm going to continue to support them until I can't. And support is more than giving money. Support is hitting the like button. That's one of the hardest things to get people to do. They'll visit your channel, listen to your work, even type in, but they won't hit the like button. The like button is important. The numbers are important, but more than anything, the view is important, and the engagement is what gives me life. I love to see people laughing, talking, having fun, and I'm truly grateful that you all like my songs because I didn't really think people were going to like them. I just know that's what I needed to do to keep my sanity, because I was called so many B's and H's, W's, whatever you want to call it, all manner of names. I mean, it was really overwhelming at times. So I had to find a way to cope, because you can't run me from home. And I feel like this is home for me. What I do and what I say, this has come so easy. And so I had to find a way to cope, and I started making my parody songs, and they work for me. So I just wanted you guys to know that it comes with no strings, no expectations, none of that. I'm very straightforward. It ain't no secrets with me. I don't operate like that. Let me see. Yeah. Yep, Crystal. Oh, yeah, that would be really good. Y'all both be decorating them chats. Maria, I had this right here to send to you 30 minutes ago when you was talking about hitting the curves. I just seen I didn't send it. I don't know if that's called sometimers or old timers, not Alzheimer's. It's not to be confused with Alzheimer's. I'm talking about old timers or sometimers, because I could have sworn I sent that. And it's just like a text. Have you ever wrote a text and you sent it, you thought you sent it, and you be wondering why the person didn't respond back to you? And then you go to send somebody else a text, and that text show right up in your face and show that you didn't hit send. And then you feel real stupid. Well, that happens to me quite a bit. Thank you, Esatar. I know you on your daddy duties. Esatar is one great dad. It is so good. I love he dedicates that time to his sons, but he actually take the time to listen. And that means the world to me, because I know how he feel about them two young men, and they enjoy their dad. I've seen them playing. He's shown me where they be playing together, and it's really awesome to see. And the interaction, especially the little 7-year-old who probably thinks he's as old as his dad. It's so fun. And Ryan is such an awesome dad. And it's just beautiful, to see these men interacting with their children. It means the world, because a lot of our children don't get to see or feel that. Trinity is a dad. It's in his children's lives. It means something to be in your children's lives. They need both parents, but they need the positive energy that both parents bring. If the energy is negative, then it would be best to stay away until you can get yourself together and give them what they need. But they need your presence, whether you're good or bad, because you cannot wait till I get better before I interact with my children, because our children grow daily, and they're babies today, and you look up tomorrow and they're taller than you. So you got to participate. You just got to find a way to deal with yourself and be a better you. Co-parenting, if you're not together, is the best thing that you can give a child, as far as substance and a foundation to help them navigate through the waters. Because I promise you, you're going to run into sharks and moccasins, and you even find some real snakes in the water. And you're going to run into whales. You're going to run into piranhas. You're going to run into all kind of things. But if you have a foundation and a sense of who you are, then you can kind of maneuver and probably switch streams. You don't necessarily have to just go straight upstream like the salmon, right into the air, and the bear grabs him in the air. You might can miss that trip, but that's a part of nature. And that's the way the earth replenishes itself, the sea, the ocean. Everything has a rhyme and a reason. And it seems that we are the people that seems to get it confused and mixed up. But if we just look at nature and how things operate, and then see if your individuality is in harmony with that, then perhaps you can change without feeling like you're changing. But you know everything must change. Nothing stays the same. That's real. And you're going to either change for the better or you're going to change for the worse. But you are going to change one way or another. So, with that being said, I think that I have been on here long enough. I just appreciate everybody for being here. Today, I don't listen to all the crazy people, and so they can say all the stuff they need to say. Hello, Lord King. I was talking about you earlier and the story that you shared on Sister T's, and it was really, really awesome, that story that you shared about your son, because I know somebody dear and I love, and they had an incident like that with their daughter. And one of the things I talked about tonight was our children, and how can we help them, and what can we do better, because it's not always the fact that we didn't lay down the foundation. We can do all that we can, but outside influences, and then of course the AI that is really taking over. And this is the information age. And so if nothing else, we should seek information that's going to make us better, not information to destroy anyone. We should try our best to be better people at all opportunities. Try to uplift as many as you can, and then know when you can't. It's okay, because we're not responsible for adults. And sometimes we take on guilt and shame of something that has nothing to do with us. But we are responsible for shaping the lives of children. And not just our children, it's any child that we come across. We want them to see the best us that we can be. MSO said, Google how to moderate YouTube channel, and you'll be surprised. It explains that the content creator channel is a business, and you can get paid from the YouTube. That's why I said you should teach Madria. Oh, well, Madria, you really need to look at that. Crystal, the pleasure is watching and interacting with you guys. Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. We look forward to these Wednesdays and Sundays. Yeah, you know what, Lord King, we do feel guilty, because I had that same feeling. And, I was the baby girl of the bunch, but I think that's where a lot of my codependency came in, because my mom worked 2 jobs and she worked extremely hard. And when I started working, I would give her my money because I wanted to relieve her of what she was doing. And my dad worked as well, but, we as children, because our mothers are our first teachers, our nurturers, our love, our everything, our lifeline, we have that feeling that we want to keep them from the same way, really, I would imagine, as the parent feel about the child. We take on that same feeling about the parent, how we want to take care of them and help them, even as children, when we probably should be playing and being children. And that's what they want for us. But when we see the struggle, it's very, very hard to do that. So I know that feeling oh too well. Yeah, it was hard for me to raise my son as well, but I tell you, I had, strict guidelines and rules, even though I was even lenient in some things. Um, and my son is the epitome of what I would want a man to be. He is the counterbalance to me. He's determined, and he gets out there and get it. He works in sales, and he works very, very hard. And he comes up with this opposition, being an Asiatic male in a European, you know, industry. He does a hell of a work, and then they always say he's like so overqualified, and that's the way to keep us out. But like I told him, live your life and do what you do. If that's what you love doing, and he does, then just do it until you can't do it anymore. So they don't want to pay you. They'll play with the numbers so they don't have to pay the bonuses. And one company, he closed single-handedly a $4 million deal. And that really overwhelmed the people. Well, it should have been great for him. It was not as great as it was supposed to be, and they did not give him the money he deserved off of his commission. And we took them to task about that. And that's what I do. We're not going to stand up and argue and talk crazy to you and do this. If you do something that violates a right of mine, then just know you're going to see me. And you're not going to see me with no fist. I had 3 fights and lost all 3. So I don't physically fight nothing. I'm not armed with no weapons. I'm not going to do none of that. But my mind, a pen and a paper, and you can meet me. That's where you'll meet me. It is. Ain't that something? And that's okay. Okay, and so said Catchy, 30,000 and up. So a lot of people around here, then we know that they're definitely buying numbers because nobody around here is getting paid. They talk a good game, but we know they're not paying nobody. Yeah, I tell you, it's a beautiful thing, and to me, it would be good if that's what we could explore and be able to talk about. But again, it's not our platform, and so some things, I don't care how positive and uplifting it is, it just can't be said. Lord King said, fortunately, I've never had a boss, and I created a t-shirt business for my son. And when he was 6, and I'm teaching him to be his own boss. That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I tell my son he should just strike out because he has everything he needs. Everything that he needs. All that I didn't give him, he has acquired on his own. And he's educated through the system of education to the education that they give. He holds the letters behind his name. And he just has to decide what he wants to do and do it because he is phenomenal. And I'm awfully proud of that young man. Yeah, it's really good. That's what we are supposed to be, entrepreneurs. But of course, we don't teach entrepreneurship. And we teach how to be good employees as a part of being a good employer and doing your thing. And that was one of the good things about this platform. We had the opportunity to have uh, an enormous amount of entrepreneurs, but the hate is so real and the lack of creativity. And I tell you, you don't need a lot. All you need is whatever it is that you're good at, and do that, and the people will come. But, a lot of people are into instant gratification, and they don't want to wait for the people to come. They want it right now, right now. And some people get it right now, and some don't. Lord King said, I'm so blessed I was incarcerated when I was 17 to 26 and never turned back. So the world was new to me. Oh, that's awesome. But in times like those, Lord King, sometimes are the best times, because then you actually learn who you are and you devote your mind to you and absorb all the knowledge that you can. So many people that have been incarcerated in their minds because they were not confined to a cell, but just life itself. They can't deal with everyday living and how to live. And they certainly don't have the time, or I would say they don't take the time or make the time to learn what they need to know for themselves to walk in who they are. Exactly, Madria. YouTube suggests new moderators to check out the bigger channels. It's interesting and amazing what you can do for a content creator channel. Mods are to help grow the channel. Cache said thumbs up 100. Hugs, hugs, Lord King. Sometimes I feel helpless and that I'm not enough for my son. So it's hard. But just know that you are enough. You've all he's got. And so you are enough. What I share with my son and anyone else is I'm not much, but I'm all I got. So for me, that's everything. And I believe in me because I live by a standard. And if you are who you say you are, that's all you need to be. I am that I say I am, and I am. I'm going to live that way, whether you like it or not. Because this world owes you nothing. And trust me, the people in it aren't going to give you anything. You're going to have to make your way. Your way. And one thing you get to do as a man is to shape him with who you are as a man. And that means everything. Now, if you're not a man operating in what a man should be, then that may not be so great. But you're operating in just what you're supposed to be. You're self-employed, self-sufficient. You're a protector, a provider, a nurturer, a disciplinary. And one thing that we must get across to these children, self-discipline is their best friend. Self-discipline. It's a must. That's true. And you got to be a part of whatever that is. Because you're going to have to do something. And if you don't do it, that ain't going to happen for you. That's why you put all of your time that you have in developing who you are, being a better you. That's beautiful. Beautifully said. Kesha, I just said earlier that there is no instruction book, so maybe some of us need to start writing instructions on how we parent. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. But it just kind of gives a footprint. They say the way you change the mind of the people is you change the literature in which they read. So sometimes people have to see it in order to do it. Some people you just can't tell them. It has to become real to them. And one thing about the word is a living organism. And it changes with the times. The very same words. It's according to where you are in your understanding. Oh, that's absolutely awesome. That is absolutely awesome. That's what it's all about. Well, when you realize that we don't really get law, we get color of law, it's kind of very disconcerting. Yeah, so I want to thank everybody for coming. I hope y'all enjoyed the mini concert. And as I leave out, I'll leave out in my little songs like I always do. I want to thank everybody for being here. And I look forward to seeing y'all in the next live that we're in. And I'll be back on Sunday. At least I'll try to be. I'm working on paperwork and I have a deadline that I have to meet. So I'll just see where I am in my paperwork before I'll know if I'm going to be live on Sunday or not. I'm sure I will. But just in case, as you all know, I thank you so much, and I'm getting ready to leave the Tiger's Den. Good night. Did you know that mental health is a family affair? It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, one child grows up to be somebody that just loves to learn, and another child grows up to be somebody you just love to burn. Mama loves the both of them. You see, it's in the blood. Both kids are good to mom. Blood thicker than the mud. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Oh, a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Nobody wants to blow. Nobody wants to be left out. You can't leave because your heart is there. But you can't stay because you've been somewhere else. You can't cry because you look broke down, but you're crying anyway because you're all broke down. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. Well, it's a family affair. Hey, hey. Okay. In remembrance of CJ, drove the hearse Cadillac. A crowd of people gathered round, all dressed in black. And as they removed his body from the car, such pain she never knew has filled her heart. Why, oh why, I heard his mother cry. But oh Lord, it was the beginning of her and justice for CJ. In a mother's love, you will find everything's alright. To a mother's love, you are bound. You can rest on sacred ground. You are free to dream, because she sees what you can be. No weapon I believe the children are future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone to fulfill my needs. A lonely place to be. So I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, At least I live as I believe, no matter what they take from me. They can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all.